What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo from Real. Hanging out here at Wing Hole. Gonna get out there for a quick sesh on the Ginxu. This is a KT Ginxu. So we've got the Drifter. It's more of his kind of entry-level intermediate board. And he's got the Ginxu, which is a really cool intermediate to advanced board. This board has a big step in the tail. And that step is decreasing the volume, and that decrease in volume gives you more maneuverability and then having a much thicker board where the mass track is. See here where the Armstrong likes to be forward in the boxes, but if you're using like an Axis or Takuma or Slingshot, you're gonna be kind of midway in the boxes. With the volume up front, what happens is a lot of volume up front and little in the tail. As soon as you get forward speed, boom, it kicks up, takes right off. So let's get on the water, tell you a little bit more about how the Ginxu's working. So this KT Ginxu is sandwich construction, which is a fancy way of saying it's expensive to make and it's really high quality. And what they do here with that big step, they have to put a lot of materials to make it super strong. And that's one thing that KT wanted to do, is make sure this thing was really solid so it wouldn't mess up, wouldn't break. It's really nice and ding resistant too. And the finish quality is awesome. They got this like matte finish, satin finish, high quality deck pad, smooth here so you don't wreck your knees. Little grippy in the back, and these foot straps are adjustable like windsurfing straps, and these are some of the best adjustable windsurf style straps I've ever used. When you're riding a smaller board like this, it's nice to have, or a smaller board than you're used to riding, it's nice to have some volume up front, because that gets the nose up to the surface, and the nose of the surface, it has less drag. Less drag means you get on foil easy. When you knee start the Ginxu, it just sits with that nose up, ready to go. You want to hook your back foot on that back kicktail or on the back foot strap. Here we go. Fun time. Things about the Ginxu is that flatter deck. You can see it's got a flatter deck on it. With that flat deck, it gives you a lot of control and stability. You want to turn faster, move your straps farther back, or just move your feet back towards the tail, and it feels like a surfboard, rips off the tail. Yeah, check out the volume distribution on this thing. I can even move my straps back. You know, this is like in the middle to front, and I can move them back 1 notch each. And that would give me a little bit more control off the tail. With this board, with the volume up front, you get the weight up front, so it has more swing weight. and it's a shorter board with more swing up front, it gives you a lot of control through a turn just like a surfboard. So it likes to be surfed and foiled off the back of the board, and that control I found is actually really nice for jumping. Like I'm getting some of my big, you know, still credit card airs, but some of my bigger flat water airs on this thing, and I think it's because you have control coming into it. When you load up, you got a lot of pop, and that's because that volume and weight distribution is farther forward in this board. And then for waves, same thing. You kind of have it doesn't get kind of too sketchy rail to rail. Whereas the first time when I was riding one, I was riding a much bigger one. In the first few sessions I had, I was riding the 82 liter, which is higher than my volume. And I think that was just making it kind of feel like wonky because it was still really turny, but I had too much swing weight up front for what I was used to riding. It was a fun session on the Ginxu. So the Ginxu is going to be the right board for someone who wants to drop down in volume. If you're riding a board and it can be, you know, 150 liter board and you want to drop down in volume, going to the 120 would be a great choice. Or like my buddy Joe, he was on a 120 and he went down to 105, and he was like, wow, I was kind of afraid because I thought that it was going to be really too advanced for me. But what he found is the takeoff and the more compact design allowed him to get you know, get on foil faster than his 120, quite a bit faster, and he had plenty of stability because of that flatter deck and some of the design specs. So if you have more questions, want to check out more reviews, go to realwatersports.com, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000. See you guys on the water for the next session.